All right, so today we're diving into AI,
Okay.
specifically how those voice assistants we've all been using,
Right.
like Siri and Google Assistant,
Yeah.
are evolving into something much bigger.
Mm-hmm.
You've probably heard of Gemini Live
Uh-huh.
and maybe even Apple Intelligence,
Yeah.
but we're going to unpack what we know so far,
Okay.
especially about Gemini Live on Android. We've got reports
Mm-hmm.
and some early user insights on Gemini Live, and it's pretty remarkable how it's changing how we use our phones.
So one of the big things
Yeah.
is how integrated Gemini Live is with Android.
Oh, wow.
It's not just an app you open.
Right.
It's like woven into the phone itself.
Interesting.
It's actually replacing Google Assistant.
Wow. So it's like a whole new level.
Yeah.
And with that integration,
Mm-hmm.
I was reading a report about how Gemini Live can actually make calls
Oh, yeah.
and send messages even when your phone is locked.
That's huge.
I know.
Especially when you think about like driving or if you're busy doing something else.
Exactly.
It's really a game changer.
But I bet some people are thinking,
Why?
wait, isn't that a security risk?
Yeah, for sure.
What about privacy?
Yeah, so Google has addressed that.
Okay, good.
They say you still have to unlock your phone
Okay.
to actually see any responses that have like
Got it.
personal information in them.
So they're trying to find that balance between functionality and security.
Some that.
Now, what I think is really interesting
Yeah.
is how Gemini Live actually has conversations.
Yeah, it's not just about commands anymore.
No.
It feels so much more natural.
Yeah, you can interrupt, change topics,
Mm-hmm.
and it remembers what we were talking about.
Yeah, and that's where
Which is amazing.
that Gemini LLM comes in.
Okay.
It's a large language model.
Right?
And that's what powers all these capabilities.
Okay.
It's been trained on so much data,
Wow.
text and code,
Hmm.
and it can understand.
So it's like the brains behind Gemini Live.
Yeah, basically.
How is that different from, like, the older assistants?
Think of it this way.
Okay.
The older assistants were like students who memorized phrases
Okay.
and responses.
Right.
But Gemini LLM is like a scholar
Yeah.
who can really understand language,
Okay.
connect ideas,
Wow.
and come up with creative solutions.
That's pretty impressive.
It is.
Can you give us some examples
Sure.
of what this can actually do?
Like imagine you're planning a dinner party.
Okay.
You could ask Gemini Live to find recipes, create a shopping list,
Yeah.
set reminders for when to start cooking,
Okay.
and even suggest wine pairings.
Wow. It's like having a personal assistant.
It really is.
Okay, let's get into some of the features
All right.
that users have available right now with Gemini Live.
One big one is it's always there
Okay.
because it's integrated into Android.
Yeah.
So it's there even when you're using other apps.
Right.
Or if your phone's locked. And it works with other Google apps too, like Gmail and Messages.
It's across your whole digital life.
It is. What about languages?
Well, it supports over 40 languages.
That's awesome.
Which is great for global communication.
Yeah, and accessibility.
Definitely. And you can
That's
even
crazy.
have conversations in 2 languages at the same time.
Wow. That's like having a translator in your pocket.
Right.
Okay. What else stands out to you?
Well, but besides the basic commands,
Yeah.
it helps you plan events, brainstorm ideas,
Okay.
and even get information for your other apps.
Wow.
Like imagine asking it to find a recipe that's buried in your Gmail inbox.
So that's handy.
Or set reminders based on what you see through your camera.
That's wild.
It is.
It really does feel like we have all this knowledge right in our pocket.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a quote
Oh, yeah.
from Sergio Vorpayev.
Okay.
He's the founder of AI startup Great Leveler.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "You will have all the knowledge of mankind in your pocket." That's a good one.
It really sums it up.
It does.
It's not just about convenience or efficiency.
Yeah.
It's about empowering people with information
Exactly.
and assistance.
Yeah, like what will people do
Like
at that level of access?
It's a big question.
It is. How will it change how we learn, work, and interact with the world?
Huge questions.
Yeah.
We'll have to get into that later.
Yeah.
But before we do,
Okay.
I want to talk about how Google is making this easier to use.
Yeah, they've made some changes to the interface.
Okay, what have they done?
Well, they've made the text box bigger,
Okay.
so you can see your whole conversation
Oh, that's good.
without it scrolling away.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah, especially for longer conversations.
Definitely.
What else?
They've also grouped those Gemini extensions
Mm-hmm.
by category,
Huh?
so they're easier to find.
So it's like a well-organized toolbox
Exactly.
instead of just a jumbled mess.
Yeah.
It seems like they're really focusing on accessibility.
Yeah, they have to.
The ease of use.
Because remember, Google isn't the only one.
Oh, right.
Apple's got their own AI assistant coming out.
That Apple Intelligence everyone's talking about.
Yep.
It's like an AI arms race.
It is.
But that's good for us
Yeah, it's good for consumers.
because competition drives innovation.
Exactly.
So we'll probably see even more advancements
For
in
sure.
the coming years.
Definitely.
But for now, let's just think about what we've learned about Gemini Live.
It's a powerful tool
Yeah,
that could really change things.
I agree.
How we interact with technology and the world around us.
Absolutely. In the next part,
Yeah.
we'll explore the potential benefits and challenges,
Okay.
and we'll dive deeper into Gemini Live's capabilities, and we'll compare it to what we know about Apple's AI assistant.
Sounds good.
So stay tuned.
All right. So welcome back to our deep dive into AI assistants.
Okay, so before we move on,
Yeah.
I think we should talk more about that whole accessing the vast knowledge of the internet thing.
Oh, yeah.
With Gemini Live,
Yeah.
you know, we talked about that Sergio Voropayev quote.
Mm-hmm.
You will have all the knowledge of mankind in your pocket.
Yeah. It's a powerful statement.
It is, and it made me think, like,
Yeah.
how would that actually work in our lives?
Okay, well, imagine, like,
Yeah.
you're traveling to a new city.
No.
You could ask Gemini Live to
Got it.
not only book your flights and hotels, but to make a whole itinerary for you.
Really?
Based on your interests.
Okay.
Pull up reviews for restaurants.
Wow.
Even translate street signs and menus.
That would be so cool.
Right.
It's like having a tour guide
Yeah.
and a translator all in one.
Exactly. And it's not just travel.
Right.
Think about education.
Yeah.
Students could have instant access to information, personalized learning,
Wow.
even AI tutors to help them understand things.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It seems like this could really change society, where everyone has access to information and personalized help.
And that brings up another point.
Okay.
We've been focusing on all the good things,
Right.
but we need to think about the challenges too.
Yeah, like what?
Like, how will this affect jobs?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
It is, if
Yeah.
AI can automate tasks,
Right?
what happens to those jobs?
Yeah. It's a tough question.
It is, but throughout history,
Yeah,
new technology has always led to new jobs.
that's true.
The key is to adapt.
Okay, so it's not about being afraid,
Right.
but about being ready
Exactly.
and making sure it's used to benefit everyone.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about how Google is making this technology easy to use.
Okay.
They made some improvements to the interface, right?
He did.
Like I read a report about how they expanded the text box so you
Oh.
can see your whole conversation.
That's a good one.
It seems like a small change,
Yeah.
but it makes a big difference.
It really does.
What other improvements did they make?
Well, they also reorganized those Gemini extensions.
Oh.
Remember, those are like mini apps that add
Yeah.
functionality. They're grouped by category now.
So they're easier to find.
Exactly.
It's like a well-organized toolbox.
It is.
At the random pile of tools.
Yeah.
Google's really working on making this easy to use.
They have to.
Because remember,
Yeah.
they're not alone.
Right.
Apple's got their Apple Intelligence coming out,
Yeah.
and people are excited about that.
They are.
It seems like the AI arms race is really heating up.
It is.
So what do we know about Apple Intelligence?
Well, one thing is for sure.
Yeah.
It's going to be integrated with all of Apple's stuff.
Okay.
Devices and services.
Okay.
Imagine controlling your Apple TV,
Uh-huh.
your HomePod,
Okay.
all just with your voice.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
It is.
And knowing Apple, they'll focus on privacy,
Oh, for sure.
which is a big concern with all this.
Definitely, Apple's all about privacy.
Yeah.
So we can expect them to protect user data.
It'll be interesting to see how they balance that,
Mm-hmm.
the data access and the privacy.
Yeah.
This is all so fascinating.
It really is.
It feels like we're at a turning point
Yeah.
with AI assistants.
Mm-hmm.
They're about to become a big part of our lives.
It's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
It's about how it will change everything.
Yeah. How we live, learn,
Mm-hmm.
work,
Yeah,
interact with the world.
exactly.
So we've talked about the potential of Gemini Live,
Yeah.
the challenges,
Mm-hmm.
and what we might see from Apple.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here?
I think we need to look beyond the features
Okay.
and think about the bigger picture.
Like what?
How will this change our relationship with technology?
Mm.
What about our privacy and data security?
Yeah, those are important questions.
And how can we make sure that these tools are used ethically?
That's a big one.
It is.
We'll definitely explore that
Yeah.
in the final part of our deep dive.
Okay.
So stay with us as we unpack the ethical considerations and the future of AI assistance. So welcome back.
Back again?
We've talked about a lot
Yeah, we have.
when it comes to AI
There's
assistance.
been a lot to unpack.
It has, and I'm excited to kind of wrap things up
Yeah.
and look ahead to what the future might hold.
It's a really interesting time
It is.
to be seeing this all unfold. Like we were saying, it's not just about the features, it's
Yeah.
about how this will change society.
Exactly. In the last part, we talked about some challenges,
Mm-hmm.
like, the impact on jobs
Yeah.
and, developing this technology responsibly.
Right.
But I want to hear
Yeah.
what you think about the positive stuff.
Okay.
How do you see AI assistance making our lives better?
Well, one thing I think we'll see is
Yeah.
even more personalization.
Hmm.
We've already got customizable voices
Yeah.
and integration with apps.
Right? But I think that's just the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Like, imagine an AI
Hmm.
that really knows you,
Yeah.
like your preferences, your
Mhm.
needs,
Totally.
and adapts to how you communicate.
Like it gets you
Yeah.
on a deeper level.
It's like a true personal assistant
It is.
that understands you better than you understand yourself.
Right.
What other areas do you see changing?
Well, I think another big one is
Yeah.
how AI assistants will work with
All right.
augmented reality and the Internet of Things.
Okay.
Like imagine walking down the street
Yeah.
and your AI is pointing out landmarks,
Okay.
suggesting restaurants,
Uh-huh.
even guiding you with your AR glasses.
That sounds like something out of a movie,
I know.
but it seems like that's where we're headed.
It really does.
Like, science fiction is becoming reality.
Yeah. And as these AIs become
Yeah.
more integrated into our lives,
Right?
I think the lines between physical and digital
Mm.
are going to blur.
Okay.
We'll interact with devices less through screens
Interesting.
and more through talking and gestures.
It'll be a more natural experience.
Yeah.
It's almost like they'll become like extensions of our minds,
Hmm.
helping us think, make decisions, and navigate the world.
Right.
It's exciting, but kind of scary, too.
It is a little bit, but I think if we're careful
Yeah.
and we develop this technology responsibly,
Right.
we can use AI to make a better world.
A more informed world,
Yeah.
a more connected world.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up,
Yeah.
what's the one thing you want our listeners to remember?
I think the big thing is
Yeah.
to keep learning.
Okay.
The world's changing so fast.
It is.
And
Yeah.
we need to be adaptable, curious,
Yeah.
and open to new ideas.
Right.
The future of AI is full of possibilities.
It is.
And if we stay informed,
Mm-hmm.
we can all help shape that future.
That's a great point. And remember,
Yeah,
we're all in this together.
we are.
We need to have these conversations,
Yeah.
ask tough questions, right?
And approach this technology
Yeah,
with a sense of responsibility.
exactly. So the next time you talk to your voice assistant, think about the technology behind it.
It's pretty amazing.
It is. And think about how you can use it
Mm-hmm.
to improve your life,
Mm-hmm.
connect with people,
Yeah.
and make the world a better place.
That's what it's all about.
That's a perfect way to end this.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive
It's been fun.
into the world of AI assistance.
Yeah.
We hope you've enjoyed exploring this with us.
Me too.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning,
Yeah.
and keep diving deep.